intuition isn't just some mystical thing. It's like Wi-Fi connection to infinite wisdom. It's amazing. So when you trust it, it guides you to the solutions you're looking for, even in the most uncertain situations. Man, I'm so inspired by how Napoleon Hill takes us through these 13 steps leading from the inside of what we truly want, our desires, and it leads to faith, and then the amazing superpowers that come from within our abilities to make decisions, to choose, and to do all of these things. And I love that the training today has reflected the tools that we need. And we can imagine both our brain as the physical tool and the sixth sense as that intangible tool that's always accessible to us. Let me start with this. Napoleon Hill describes the sixth sense as the 13th steps to riches, and he calls it the door of, he calls it the door to the temple of wisdom, which is obtained through intelligence, infinite intelligence. Here at Champion Circle, we also call it your brain's superpower. So I want to share a story with you about a hidden superpower that we all have. No, it's not X-ray vision or the ability to fly, although that would be pretty awesome. Our superpower is more for practical and equally as magical uses, and it's called our intuition. You might be wondering, John, intuition, really? Is that like a superhero's gut feeling when the villain's about to strike? Exactly, actually. Intuition is our internal compass. It's our sixth sense. It's the ability, and it guides us even when logic is screaming, nope, turn back. Like that's not the path you want to go down. I first realized for me the power of intuition during a church service project that we called senior night, but in secret. We actually called this the geezer pleaser. Don't tell anyone. So imagine this. I had to plan an evening of fun for a room full of senior citizens, but I had no clue what they wanted or what they were interested in. Bingo, polka music, a magic show. Conventional wisdom would have suggested surveys or or focus groups, but who has time for any of that? I invested my time in my ability to look within. So instead, I relied on my intuition. I thought, what would bring connection and joy? Just by asking that question, like I felt like I was tapping into this infinite library of experiences and knowledge of what makes people in general tick. So we threw together and planned a list of activities such as dinner, impromptu jokes, music, and some comedy sketches, and we hoped for the best. But on the night of the event, my secret superpower kicked in as we intuitively felt out the vibe of the room and each senior's tables, reading the room's energy. I adapted the entire thing as it went on. And guess what? It was such a hit. Not just a hit, but it became an annual tradition, doubling in size, doubling in budget, and the laughter grew every year. Turns out seniors really like bad jokes, good company, all over a decent meal. But although that formula isn't like common knowledge, we accomplish this by harnessing the intuitive superpower. So intuition is an action. What I learned from this experience is that intuition isn't just some mystical thing. It's like Wi-Fi connection to infinite wisdom. It's amazing. So when you trust it, it guides you to the solutions you're looking for, even in the most uncertain situations. Think about this. So intuition has been part of human survival for centuries. And ancient explorers didn't have GPSs. Imagine if they did. That'd be such a funny thought. But yet they did discover entire continents. So why? Did they trust their gut? Or maybe they were just really bad with directions, but all in all, it all worked. So here's the science and the fun. So put on your lab coats, everybody, and your goggles. Here, we're about to get scientific. Science even backs up the superpower theory. And intuition bridges our five senses with the inner world, combining experience and instinct to guide us, to give us direction. And yes, while it might feel like a mystical power, it actually it's actually your brain doing some of that next level problem solving. The brain is one of the biggest underdogs of our world. It is constantly working, even if you're not aware of what it's working on. That clutter, that pile in the corner that you've been avoiding for weeks, months, maybe even years, your brain acknowledges its existence, submits that to the subconscious, and helps that live through your life. And yes, if you have moments of frustration or moments where clarity is not clear, and when you are unorganized, that's because of the pile hanging out in your room, or the painting that you haven't fixed, that it got nudged by the children and it's been off for a couple months. Okay, those little things, the brain takes note of it, scans your environment, even when you're not directly or deliberately looking at them, and it knows. So everything in your life is playing out because of your immediate surroundings. The brain operates. And even if you can't see, if you're blind, your brain is still operating by other senses, and it's a complete game changer. But let's keep it real. Sometimes intuition is hilariously off sometimes. Like when you get that gut feeling to buy lottery tickets because, well, today's the day. Spoiler alert, it's usually never that day. But other times, intuition hits the mark so perfectly that it feels like magic. So you just know something will happen, right? But no matter what the situation might be, I recommend trusting that intuitive feeling and doing what fulfills you. So here are some practical steps for tapping into your intuition. I can't just leave you hanging without a few superhero training tips to strengthen your intuition. So here are my top tools and daily practices. Tool number one, visualization. Close your eyes, breathe, and picture your goals unfolding. Your intuition loves a clear mental picture. It's like a GPS, but it won't reroute you through endless traffic. It will take you wherever you are supposed to go and supposed to do. Tool number two, breathe like a superhero. Try this 4-4-6 method. 4-4-6. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds. That alone can calm the chaos. It can create clarity in your brain and your mind, and it lets your intuition sneak in like a ninja in the night, taking over and disrupting those subconscious thoughts that are being cluttered by the things in your life that aren't in order. So tool number three is journal your inner genius. I want you to write things down. Like if you get sick of me saying these three words, uh, just know that I'm going to double down on it. Write it down. Write it out. Write out your gut feelings. Ask questions like, what's my inner voice telling me today? Or why did I eat that second slice of cake for dessert last night? I'm just kidding. Answers will surface no matter what you ask, at least for one of those questions, right? And my tool number four is serve first. So here's a twist. Focus on helping others. When you shift your energy and your mindset to serving others, intuition steps in as the best guide and the best way forward. It's like having a sidekick in your superhero journey. It's your Robin to your Batman-ness. And I got to joke with you because I have a meme that's my favorite meme, and it's a picture of a cat wearing a Batman mask. And the quote says, always be yourself, dot, 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 unless you can be Batcat. Always be Batcat. That's the higher power, the best version of ourselves talking. So in that moment, you have a Robin and you are the Batman-ness to your intuition. It's phenomenal. So why does all this matter? Let's face it, life doesn't always make sense. But intuition bridges the gap between logic and the brain to what lies beyond that infinite intelligence. It connects us to something greater, a higher purpose. So I'm going to obliterate this name, but let me give you my best French accent. The French philosopher Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. How did I do, guys? French philosopher Pierre Chardin said, "We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience." Think about that. Your intuition isn't just a survival tool. It's your guide to living authentically, courageously, and connected. So here's my challenge to each of you. The next time you face a decision, big or small, pause, close your eyes, envision, take a breath, listen to that quiet, persistent whisper inside you. Trust it. Because here's the truth. You've had this superpower all along. Everything you need is already inside you. And when you tap into it, you're not just navigating life, you're thriving, you're leading, and you're creating traditions that will outlast you. So go ahead, be the superhero in your story. I have a hat with me, and I don't wear it as often as I'd like, but this hat I picked up, and the sign, the little message here on the front says, "Be the hero of your own story." I love that message. Here's another one. These internal messages. Influencer, right? Be the influencer of your life. So be the superhero in your own story. And remember, your intuition isn't just a guide, it's your greatest ally in living a life full of purpose, wisdom, and joy. I'm John Kowach Jr. Thank you.